instructions for meditation. So, in that world of truth, I thought I'd spend the same, is bring it into our class like I did yesterday for my 18 to 20-year-olds. And the affirmation here is, I am wise. And this is what I said to them. You are wise. I am wise. And I know my truth and I share it. And here during this time of transformation and change, in probably the biggest way in my lifetime I've ever seen it, transformation and change. They're calling it the matrix of crises or the mega crises. It's all related. There's nothing that separates any one of the issues that have come forward during this year from another. It's all one big thing. And we're asked to answer this question or this affirmation of, I am wise. I know my truth and I share it. And this truth is also part of our authenticity. And this is what we're seeking all the time, is ways that we can be authentic. And that's why the educational system doesn't really work. The public educational system needs to shift and change. And it will, because the World Organization of Educators are all about collaboration, cooperation, imagination, creativity, intuition, knowing your truth and sharing it, being authentic. And they really give it a timeline. They say by 2035, education will be shifted. The Honors College at OSU is already doing it. There are new amazing schools popping up all over the world because of what happened when we went into lockdown and the realizations that parents had, and the realization that their children could learn as much as they needed to learn, and parents really could do it. Now, not all parents could, and a lot of them suffered, especially if they had to have a job and be parenting. But it will change. But we, of all people, we're the wisdom keepers. I am wise. I know my truth and I share it. And that truth may be, I take care of my grandchildren. I support my own children in their transitions and their ups and downs of life. I take care of myself. I have compassion for myself and others. It can look in so many ways. It can look different. The part of awakening is the integration of all that we've learned, all that we've collected over our years. And then the collected wisdom here with all of the wisdom that's collected from all of us that have come and joined each other in yoga and meditation for the last year plus. Some of you came in the fall and some of you joined me in the very beginning in March. For my students, we talked about self-expression and purpose. And as we get older, it changes. What is our purpose now? Or is it the same? Once a teacher, always a teacher. My archetype is like 100% educator. My astrology, 100% leadership. It's like I have to do it. I don't feel whole unless I do it. What is it that you have to do? Are you, maybe art, maybe hiking, maybe traveling, maybe doing your job in a way that suits you as you're in this stage of life. Self-expression. That includes self-expression in what we believe is right for right now. What's our truth? This is that in our time of like, what is true? The news. What is fake? What is true? What is a lie? What is not a lie? How do we work with that? The inspiration piece comes in here where it's like, what inspires you? Because that's part of your self-expression and what your truth is. In fact, those 4 I's, inspiration, imagination, intuition, and integration, are all part of this understanding of what is your truth. So knowing what inspires you and knowing the integration of all the wisdom that you have, knowing that your brain is also integrating what's happening now on the planet. Listening to that intuitive self. In many ways, those of us that are working with health issues, I just want to say, you have to take your intuition. You have to really work with your intuition, and often you have to be your own practitioner. There's so much information floating around out there that you are the only one that's going to know yourself the best. Bring the fingertips together and the thumbs to the heart, and breathe gratitude through the heart. Come to that place of gratitude. Just let the heart overflow with gratitude. As though that overflowing of gratitude, imagine what it looks like. What color is it? What is it like? Is it a waterfall? Is it a bubbling up something? Is it foam that's bubbling up? Is it flame? How can you fill the heart with gratitude and let it overflow? Is it water? Is it simply little pieces of glitter? Is it all the people in your life that fill your heart, and then overflowing, you flash the memory into all of those people? Is it nature? All of nature, including all that your consciousness can bring into this moment of an overflowing heart of gratitude, like every single animal you've ever been encountered, every bird, every plant, every flower, every tree, all right there, all at the one time. In this one moment. That's how powerful we are. Fill your heart with gratitude and then ignite that heart to be huge. There's so much that you can fit in there. You can hold every person you've ever loved in your heart. And then you can hold all the people that are suffering in your heart. This is the heart chakra. And we're making it stronger with our thumbs at our heart and our fingers tips together, because we're actually bringing the earth up to our heart. And in a minute, we'll bring the head down. But our fingertips are pointed up towards the crown. This connects the throat chakra as well, which is the connector between the upper and lower chakras. Well, actually, the heart is. That's the connector between the upper and lower chakras. 3 below, 3 above. As below is, as above, and then you have the middle. Then bring the thumbs to the third eye and bring the sky down through your body. Bring the top of the head. That song that I played was like, bring the earth up to your heart, and then bring the sky down to your heart. Connect the head and the feet. We talked about the feet and the head all coming to the center. Imagination, inspiration, integration, and intuition, and expanding that contemplation every single day, and maybe doing art around it, drawing around it, writing around it, contemplating one at a time. What does it mean to be a multidimensional human? Tap the top of the head and bring the arms up. Either you're lying down and you just make the arms above your head or somehow out, just to help us represent these new chakras. The soul star chakra right above the crown, the earth, the galactic chakra beyond that, and the universal chakra. They're all stars. They're all like part of our understanding of the sun. Then bring your hands to your heart and hands together. And this is Anjali Mudra. It makes your heart stronger. So Anjali or Anja means heart. Anjali Mudra, palm to palm at the heart. And just consider that heart chakra and how and what that heart chakra can do. You know, the heart chakra has the arms, the hands, the fingers, goes up to the shoulders. This, you know, the shoulder girdle is like complex. We can hug ourselves. You can hug another. The word namaste means, you know, hello. It's a greeting. Hello, goodbye. I honor you. I honor you as the mirror for me. I am a light. I am light. And I am the light that I see in you. Then take a deep breath in and a long exhale out. And with a sigh, exhale completely. And if your eyes are closed, gently open the eyes and shake out the legs if you're seated. Shake out the legs if you're lying down. I know my truth and I share it. The intellectual focus for this is interesting. It's perspective and democracy. It's an interesting focus. It's in my module that's called Letting Everything Be Your Teacher. So you walk through the world and let absolutely everything be your teacher. You know, sometimes it's a spiritual teacher that whatever's happening is working with. It's really a holistic teacher, including all parts of the self. And then bring yourself down to the floor and pull the knees in. And roll the knees in a circle or rock yourself back and forth. And this is part of just a way to begin. But it's also massaging the lower back and just getting settled. We're mostly, you know, either we're sleeping or we're prone in bed, or we're seated somewhere doing something, or we're walking. And maybe some of you have biking in your life, or some of you might have running in your life, jogging. But how many times do we really get down on the ground and then stretch the body and be fully present in the moments as we let them unfold? Knees open wide, flex the feet, lift the head, let go of the arms. Moment in time. Your hands can always go behind the head. Notice the shape and the space between. Noticing that space between is part of that changing the brain to see the space between everything, hear the space between words and sounds. Know that there is space, and that open space is mostly what we are. Head comes down, legs come up, shake it all out. Really shake arms and legs, wrists, and then roll the wrists and the ankles. Breath. So just grounding into the earth on your spine. Mm. Mm. Then pull the knees in, bring the head up to the knees and the hands down to the feet as far as they'll go. And your hands can always be under your knees, over your knees, on your shins, at the ankles, down to the feet. Notice the breath, the contraction of the breath. Then 5-pointed star and back to the flower of life understanding, the geometry. Allowing your body, mind, spirit to wrap itself around the flower of life geometry, and that all other geometric solids are inside this one form. And really, it's a sphere. It's not really flat. We're working with first dimension, one line, second dimension, square, third dimension, cube, fourth dimension, cube inside of a cube, a large cube inside of another cube. Fifth dimension, working with the unseen of how we are understanding the expansion, and there's no way to visualize it yet. The flower of life is the best visualization we've come up with so far, and it's a sphere. And all of our spheres are connected through heart-brain coherence. Heart-brain coherence is one of the keys to healing and one of the keys to anxiety and stress relief in the 21st century. And then imagine us all connected to all the circles of other circles of people that we know, and you could bring in men and women if you want, but we've been working with women and women's circles. Even if they're not meeting right now. And of course, all the circles of singers, because singing and dancing and all the artists, bless the artists. And then take this flower of life and put it all around the earth. And the earth is a sphere. We can envision that, and we can envision the sphere being circled by all these other circles. And it's so interesting because truthfully, it all comes back to equations. It's mathematical. It's all mathematical equations. And we have the equation that explains the whole universe. No one can solve it. Place the feet flat on the floor, drop the knees side to side, and I know that we will solve it. During the age of Aquarius, which is supposed to be 1,000 years, I think it's 1,000 years that we're in this, that Earth is in that part of the constellations. Knees drop side to side, and you feel the fluidity of the second chakra, creativity, the rivers, the oceans, all of the different water bodies on the planet, all the water in our body, and all the creativity, imagination that you can bring forward. Then drop the knees to one side and turn the head to the other. Spinal twist and decide gentle, moderate, rigorous, feet apart, feet on top of each other, knees on top of each other. Or bottom foot comes over to the top leg. Or you can put a cushion between your legs or a block behind your back. And you just sort of see like, what is working for you? So I've got a cushion, between my legs, and it works really well. A block works too. I kind of love the block. Where's my other block? I've been liking the block behind the back and the block. Let's see if I turned off this microphone accidentally. And just breathe here, and take a moment of conscious stillness. Conscious moment Feel the breath. How far into the body can you feel the breath? That's one practice that I haven't really introduced you to, but how far into the body in any shape do you feel the breath? This could be a practice for the 2 weeks pause that we're going to have. You know, for me, I can feel the breath from the feet to my fingertips all the way to the crown of my head because I've practiced it so long. Taking your consciousness and going into that place of how far into the body can I feel what the breath does to the body? It's not just about the expansion of the lungs, although there's a good part about the movement of the diaphragm that's related to the expansion of the lungs, and then how that moves the other diaphragms in the body, above and below the diaphragm, below the lungs, at the lower rib cage. Then release this side and go to the other side. You know, and if you haven't bought any yoga equipment, but you really like yoga, the yoga equipment really grows on you. And when you're feeling like you need restorative yoga, and I have to say I need a little restorative yoga today because of when I teach that OSU class, it's, you know, we do the full sun salutation. And it actually wears me out, especially with my knee. So I had a hard knee night from overworking my knee yesterday. So this feels really good. You can always do yoga. You can always do the asana practice. The pranayama practice comes in, the meditation practice is there. The Eightfold Path of Yoga has all of it in the way I teach my classes, but you can go to a class that's just fitness. Usually they bring in a little tiny bit of meditation and a little bit of breath. Surrender, patience, faith, self-acceptance of the moment, not needing to change anything, finding your way. Notice if you can let the consciousness rest in nothingness, expansion, empty space. See if your forehead is relaxed. Check in with the fingertips. You know, in that world, in what Attila said about, you know, I believe in the power of energy. The energy and energetics of being still and feeling the energy within the body. Holding space for success in all of our endeavors. Whatever interactions we are having with others or the world or the local whatever. Then come back to center and know that we've had a little rest. Bring the hands down to the floor and put this in motion as we come up into bridge rolls. Inhale up and exhale down as we make more space for our creativity and our new invention of our own personal journey in life. Inhale up and exhale down. Flat feet on the floor. If you want a little bit more vigor, put the knees, feet, and thighs together. That's called the Pilates stance, and it engages the inner thighs a little bit more. So you're strengthening and working with inner thighs a little further, a little more than you do with the feet apart. But it's even with the feet apart, you want your knees parallel. I mean, you want your knee to pelvis parallel, knee to ankle parallel. You want your feet not to come off the floor. So it's very easy for the feet to want to grab onto the floor or do something there. And you want to place them as best you can in a way that they don't have to come off the floor, that you're grounded into the first chakra on the feet. You're grounded into the earth. The next time you come up, hold the posture and ground yourself into the upper chakras and lower and the first chakra, so that your power center can take your creativity, inspiration, imagination, intuition, all the fluidness of that second chakra into form. So the power of the solar plexus takes it into form. The color is yellow, orange and yellow mixed. It kind of brings in that peach color. Add the red, and it's that peach color that I say bring up through the body, through the earth. And this peach color is the new understanding of the transformational color of the opal. It's an opal sort of color. I think it's in the universal chakra, the 12th chakra, the 12th star, solar star chakra. Then pulse the hips towards the ceiling, and you're getting a little bit of strengthening in that back body core, because the strength in our core is going to take us, our power into the world, take our creation into the world. And at this point, with what is happening in the world, we all are part of a new creation. And we have to come up with our own individual, authentic creation for ourselves. And listen to our truth and know where we're guided. Follow your intuition. Then hold the posture here. Bring the arms down by your sides. Take a moment of holding it. Now, if you can't hold it, just let go. Just allow yourself to be in the strength that you have in this moment. Don't expect any more or less than what you have. No judgment. So, first tenet of mindfulness, non-judgmental, moment-to-moment attention. Then onto the toes and hold that for a moment. And from the toes, take a deep breath and notice where your vertebrae are, your cervical, thoracic, lumbar, and down to the sacrum. And as you lower down from the toes, lower the body down and see how many vertebrae you can identify. It just brings your attention really into the spine, all the way down till you lengthen out the legs, relax those legs, shake them out. Roll the ankles and roll the ankles as you one direction, and then roll the ankles in the other direction. Notice how the whole body is moving when you are lengthened out and rolling the ankles. It's sort of like that cerebral spinal fluid balancer. Then reach the arms above your head, stretch from the heels of the hands to the heels of the feet. Hold your breath. When in doubt in your body, go back to the spine. Go back to the 6 movements of the spine. Go back to stretching out the spine. Go back to the earth, lying down on the earth. Then relax the posture. Witnessing and following the breath as we go through these different movements and shapes, and realizing that sometimes the breath needs to let go in a sigh. Sometimes the breath needs to let go with a smooth, closed mouth and comes out the nose, and maybe Ujjayi breath. In these next 2 weeks that I'm going to take off, it's an integration time of seeing if you can come up with a practice that's your own. See what you gravitate to. Bringing the feet to the floor, hands behind your head, press into the lower back, lift the shoulders up, look at the ceiling. Exhale. Ground into the lower back. As you're pushing that lower back into the floor, you're going to get some engagement just like that. You can bring the feet off the floor, knees bent. You can lengthen out the legs. You can bring those legs down as far as they'll go to the floor. Keep the back flat though. Notice when you get a curved spine and know you may have gone too far and you want to bend the knees. Squeeze at the pelvic floor and use that diaphragm at the pelvic floor to understand the diaphragms in the body. Exhaling. Notice what's happening to the diaphragm as you're doing pretty much the fire breath. Exhaling, exhaling. It's a passive inhale, a forceful exhale. Then hold the posture, but don't hold your breath and go back to a comfortable breath. And then bring the knees in. Take a deep breath in and out. Ah. Then knee to elbow. You know, gentlest is hand to knee. Next is knee to elbow. Next is lifting the feet off the floor or lengthening out one leg. It can be one leg up. And then the most difficult of, if you want to go up to an even higher level, it's letting go of holding your head and you're pointing the toe or lengthening out down with the hands behind your head is even harder. So you're deciding as you exhale on each side, and then hold one side. And again, you go as slow or as fast as your body needs. And when you do your own practice, you'll figure that out even more than you might figure it out in a class. And sometimes doing your own practice it can feel like your body can feel like it doesn't want to move as much. You're not as motivated somehow. And that's when I say, go put on some music that you love and let the music carry you through the practice. Then rock yourself up and turn yourself to the side and loosen the pelvis again. And then knees over to the right and right arm down to the floor and take that left arm and up. Now the gentle practice here is just twist the body and look to the side, look up, to the side, look up, and then press into the hand and let it bring you up and down with the breath. Inhale up. This is the gateway to your heart. Now you can be on your fist if wrists are challenged. And if you want more from this, the vigorous posture is to lengthen out that leg, be on the edge of your foot, and come up and down. So see what you're choosing. Strengthening the arm. And then hold the posture. I give you the experience of holding the posture, but we don't hold it very much because I keep it gentle yoga. But if your body says, oh, I want to hold for like 5 breaths, you work it. There's benefits to holding postures, bringing them down, bring that down. Switch sides. Start with the gentle if you want. The really even more gentle is not even using that arm. You're just sort of twisting around. And then the second level, moderate, bring yourself up. Vigorous, right leg is extended onto the edge of your foot. And you're inhaling up, exhaling down. Now remember, go at your own pace. Inhale up, exhale down. And then hold the posture. Now this gateway to your own heart as we move, through the chakras, and we've worked with the second and third and creativity and new creation and, authenticity, and we come up to the heart. And it's really an integrative force in the body, taking the first 3, opening to the upper 3, which are the ethereal postures or ethereal chakras, kind of in, that space that's between. Then bring yourself down onto your hands and knees and doing this direct movement of the spine. with the breath. The power of the breath is so profound. Then hold the posture. And when you hold a posture, then you have to figure out what is your breath? Is it the effortless breath? Is it the extended exhale? Is it the deep breath? And you'll find in every posture, you'll have different abilities with the breath of where the diaphragm is in the body and how the body is shaped to leave the room for the full expansion of the lungs. Change shapes. Just see what that means to you as you explore it today. And what's the breath doing in this shape? What does it want to do? Be intuitive. Be authentic. So on the mat is every moment is, what is your truth in this moment? What is your truth in the shape that you're making? That's what the asana practice is for. How can you be fully present in your truth and your authenticity as you choose what's right for you? Then come to neutral, tuck the toes behind you, and just first come back and stretch the toes. We haven't done this in a long time. So first it's just recognizing that toes, they have a lot of different kinds of issues and problems. First come back and stretch the toes. Now, those of you who can, you can come up further and stretch the toes by sitting on them. Big stretch for the feet though, so be careful. Just otherwise, you're just sort of, tucking the toes and exploring their ability to stretch. Flexibility, they call that. Then tuck the toes and come up. Head comes down. Again, this stimulates all the systems of the body and particularly focuses on thyroid and thymus glands, and these are so needed. Thymus glands involved with your immune system. Thyroid gland, just regulation of so much and so many hormones, and thyroid issues are so common in the population. I've recently learned all the things that actually, all the foods that we feel are common that actually affect the thyroid. You can Google that. Then walk yourself up to the hands. This has been the basic process I've taught you because it's one of the most gentle kind of flows that you can do that targets the whole body. And you can always straighten the legs and look up, or elbows down, or ragdoll. And these are all choices, ragdoll or standing forward bend. Which one's right for you? For some people, standing forward bend is not right at all. And if it is, you can bring a block and you bring it way up, or you could put your hands on a chair. There's lots of other ways to do the stretches you might feel like your body wants, but perhaps the particular positions don't work for you. Then bend the knees and bring yourself up. Arms come up, and this is stabilizing for your balance after you've had your head down. And then hands to the heart. So we spent our time on the floor today pretty much, and it's already 12. So we have 15 minutes to find our closing. So coming onto your left foot, grounding that left leg into the floor. Putting the toe out in front of you and the arms up. This is one of the most simple balancing postures. And the gentle posture is hold yourself up. The next level is to lift that toe off the floor. The next is to bring it up a little higher. Oops, got to get off of my mat. The more you can be, if I was on a solid floor, this wouldn't be any problem. But being on a mat on top of a rug is your foot wants to wobble in all that wiggle room it has. And this is about transformation. This is Shiva and transformation. That's what we're doing. We're doing it all the time, but it's particularly major right now. Get into the right foot and lift the left. Oh, wait, did I just do that? Get into the left foot and lift the right. There we go. Either side. The shoulders are down. The wrists are floppy. The fingertips are together. Oh, and just want to watch something not moving. Something still keeps your stillness. And balance is all about focus, attention, and concentration. And it's a training in that. So if you're feeling unbalanced in your consciousness or your brains kind of go crazy, do a balancing posture. Just see if it works. And then down, shake it out. That posture also, gets the deltoid section of the arms. It holds you up there. You have to stay up there. Then widen the feet out. We're just going to do, you can bring a block or something that will bring you up a little further to the mat. Or you can have your hands down on the floor. You can also have hands on a chair. Look underneath and get that understanding of the opposite. The understanding of looking at something upside down. Turn something around. Just about any idea, any thought, any creation can be also looked at with its duality. Then take the right hand and it goes down on the floor. The left arm comes up, a spinal twist. You might bend that elbow behind your back. You can always have your hand on it as a fist or up on a block or a chair. And then down, other hand up. Again, you can bend that elbow behind the back or you can have it up. You can turn your head to look at it, but if the head doesn't like that, just look at the wall or someplace that's straight ahead. Getting new perspectives. And down. Then heel toe, heel toe, heel toe until we get to a squat and press into the feet and come up into Warrior Goddess. Notice in this named Warrior Goddess. Okay, that's us. We are like a warrior goddess, and if we could be hand to hand, I would go hand to hand, turn the hands out, and we would. Oops, I can't even get one arm to do that. But we would be in a circle to connect. It's like a heart circle. But here, it's really feeling the squat. So feel that squat. Knees go over your ankles. So those of you who have knees that come in a little bit or go out a little bit, you want to try to align them, but not try to change your alignment too much. And then 5-pointed star. And from here, side to side, so that we get the spine to go in another direction. Then hold one side. Remember, you can have support with your hand. Hold the other side. And again, you can have support at your waist. You'll see how different they are. And then come back to center. Shake it the body out. And then we'll come down to the floor. Now, you might want to set yourself up on a wall and do legs up the wall. Or you might want to join me on the cushion to do recline goddess on the floor with the cushion. We're going to drop the chin to the chest and roll down the spine. Step back into downward dog to give our bodies a little bit more time in this wonderful posture. Down to the knees and back into child if you want. Come back into child, stretch the lower back. If you want to go further today with this posture, you can roll right to the top of your head. Come into Yoga Mudra, either with the hands on the floor and you keep it just a gentle or
all the way up. Getting those arms to go in the opposite direction. And you can just skip this one. So you can come back,
Gather up either a block or a cushion. You can find your own ending posture. For me, it's going to be a block and putting it under my sacrum and putting my legs up. It could be that you want to do a reclined goddess with the cushion under your back or legs up the wall. And remember, you do yoga with no goal, but to simply be present with the breath, with the moment, understanding space and space between. If you join me in legs up with a cushion or a block, know that you can always go into supported squat. There's so many things you can do from here. You can go into a supported back bend by lengthening out the legs. You can place one foot down and lengthen the one leg up and go into a deeper stretch of one leg. You can roll the ankle, point and flex. So this is a great one to have a block for. What kind of breath did you decide? What happened naturally? So much of yoga is taught by directing you in every little step of the way that I believe that it doesn't teach you how to be true to yourself. And today's little entryway into what is our truth. Let's see what else I might have here on these wise sheets of paper. One of the sensory things about this understanding of speaking our truth is also listening and hearing and understanding vibrations. Understanding what vibration is, how it looks with sound and light. It's also about leadership and public speaking. It's also about looking in your body and saying, if my body could speak, what would it say? What would my body's truth be if my body could speak? And you can take yourself actually through your whole body and say, okay, feet, what would you say? Toes, what would you say if you could speak? What would the knee say if it could speak? What would the ribs say if they could speak? What would the arms say? What would the hands or the fingertips say? Then find, we're going to close in a few minutes. So just decide whether you want to stay right where you are or you want to come into Shavasana for a moment. So Shavasana is neutral. So for me, that meant taking the block out from under my sacrum, coming into constructive rest. Constructive rest is always a little bit easier on the lower back. It's a little bit more neutral than Shavasana. So as you settle into these last few moments, let the body relax even deeper. And that means responding to the gravitational field. Now know that everything emits light. Everything is light. It's vibrational light, and that the magnetic field and the electromagnetic field, which is all the aspects of light that you can see and unseen, and the gravitational field, and the weak and strong nuclear fields. These four fields make up what we call the quantum field. And if you could imagine this as it could be waves coming in off the ocean, and it could also be the overlapping of like if you took a bunch of strings or even netting, and you overlapped 4 different levels of netting, and then you moved them in a rhythmic manner, you would get sort of the beginning of a thought of what this quantum field is like. It's very fluid, yet it's netted together by you know, Einstein would say it's netted together with the fabric of space and time. But now in the new physics, it's much more complicated. So see if the face is relaxed. There's 40 muscles in the face. So just see, is the forehead relaxed? Are the eyes relaxed? Are the temples relaxed? Are the cheeks relaxed? Is the jaw relaxed? Is the chin relaxed? You know, what could you relax a little bit more and train yourself to go, oh yeah, look at that. And watch your face get heavy. Witness it. The face is one place that's so sensitive. We can feel all the little places where we actually can release. The third eye, relax the third eye. See if that changes something. What did your eyes do? And then just for our closing, hands together at the heart or the third eye, whatever feels good today. Mine goes to the third eye intuitively. May I have peace. And may what I do here go out onto the world and make more peace. May we have peace. And may what we do here go out onto the world and make more peace. And then let it go and decide if you just want to stay there, quiet, grounded, resting. And if you decide to come join me back at the screen, roll over to one side, take a moment in fetal position, feel gravity pull, press into the hands and come up. Again, your electromagnetic self is responding to the gravitational field. And then finally, how do you come up? if you need to come up all the way or just roll over